Rome, a small city-state in central Italy that grew to become a world power. Here on this installment, we'll be taking ourselves into the Roman armies from the city-state period all the way to the fall of the Eastern Roman Empire or the Byzantine Empire. In 753 BC, Rome was established by legend by Romulus and Remus. After a friendly scuffle, where Romulus kills Remus, gives himself the title of king, marking himself as the first king of Rome. Also, that's why it's called Rome and not Rheims. Now at this time, Rome didn't have an army, because the main reason, its population. Rome, even though it was established in 753 BC, it was a small city until the year 600 to 500 BC. This period is named the Regal period. This is where Rome became a regional power, boasting a population of 35,000 people and a land area of 218 hectares, which put it at half the size of Athens at the time. Now before the Regal era, there wasn't no national Roman army, but only war bands and clans to defend the city. But after the Regal era, there were still no professional forces or standing army, but the Roman army was gathered like militia to serve the army. The standard force was composed of 9,000 men, separated into 6,000 heavy infantry, 2,400 light infantry, and 600 light cavalry. The heavy infantry at the time borrowed much from the hoplites, sporting for body armor a bronze cuirass, which weighed about 32 kilos, and it was very expensive. That's why the light infantry didn't wear the bronze cuirass, but the middle and low class of the army wore linothorax. Linothorax was also used by the Greeks on some occasions. Linothorax was made by linen and animal fat as well. Now for a helmet, the heavy infantry and light infantry used so-called pot-style helmets of the 8th, 7th and 6th century. Because at the time, army sizes were very small and hearing was very important. But as armies grew larger and army formation became more complex, hearing wasn't needed as much, and so there were two metal plates put on the sides of the face to protect the sides of the face.
No shit, Sherlock.
This helmet was known as the Montefortino helmet, which was used during the 5th, 4th and 6th and 3rd century, even during the wars with the Carthaginians. As a shield, the heavy infantry used a very similar hoplite shield named the Slipus, which they used as a barrier, and with their large spears resembling the phalanx formation came closer and closer to the enemy, impaling them eventually. Now under the armor, as common clothes, Romans used tunics. As mentioned early, Roman armies used to use the phalanx formation, and because they used the phalanx formation, they used long 8-meter long spears to attack the enemy. And they used hasta or spear in Latin. However, during the later Republic, it was replaced by the pilum and gladius. These men with the spears were called hastati. Now, to mention some battles which these early Roman legionaries fought in. Battle of Gaudine Forks, where the Samnites showed the Romans the weakness of the phalanx formation by being on cliffs and attacking the Romans above, and the phalanx formation wasn't good at moving, so a lot of Romans were actually killed, and almost 0 Samnites were killed in the battle. After the losses against the Etruscans and even the Samnites and other neighboring tribes such as the Celts, The Roman armies changed from the hoplite sporting hoplum and spear in the phalanx formation to the way more familiar Roman legionnaire. Here I sign off.
And not even your beauty can keep a sorry dream alive. To you I must say goodbye. I've had you on my mind for forever.